Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use PolicyPak Remote Work Delivery Manager with Azure Blob Storage. Now, if you're not familiar with Azure Blob Storage, it's a lot like Amazon S3 storage and that kind of thing. Here I am in the home page of Azure portal. You might see something like storage accounts here. If you can't find it, you can just type the word blob right in here and it'll find you storage accounts. So you got to start there in storage accounts. Now you might have a few storage accounts already. If you don't, you can add one, okay? You can and then go through the wizard. So when you're on this page, what you'll probably do is you can create a new resource group. It's just kind of like a pre kind of container thing. So I'll call this Azure Blob 1, just so we're on the same page here. Then the storage account name, you can give it a similar thing if you want to, Blob 1, Azure Blob 1. Whoops. Only contain lowercase characters. There we go. All right. It has to be a name that nobody else has ever taken before. So we'll do I'll do PP Azure Blob 1. Okay, there we go. Okay, there are a couple of other bits and bobs here about the storage type. I'm just going to go with the latest, greatest, and then you can decide if you want it redundant or not. I don't think I need to do anything like that for what I'm doing here, so I'll just go ahead and review and create. And I'm off to the races. Create, doing its thing up here. And deployment is in progress. So I'm just going to pause the video, wait a minute for this to be done, and I'll come right back and we'll continue onward. Okay, that took like 10 seconds. So now we'll click on Go to Resource here, and here's our special Azure Blob. And what's next is like getting ready to rock with the files that we want. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is go down here to the Blob Service section and click on Containers and add a new container. And this is where you get to decide access. So private, no anonymous access, that's not going to help us here. What we need is blob access, blob anonymous access for read, for blobs only. That's cool. PP blob 1 for software. How about, and there we go. Yeah, that's allowed. So PP blob 1 for software. Okay, that's great. I don't think we need anything in the advanced here. Yeah, I think we're okay there. Go ahead and click create. And now that we go ahead and click into that little guy. So we'll go ahead and click on upload here. It's time to upload the file. Now when I do, I'm going to pick, if I go to C share, you see I've got two versions of 7-zip. I've got 7zip.msi and 7zip19.msi. This one is actually version 16, but I'm just going to call it 7zip.msi, and I'll show you why in a little bit. And I'll go ahead and upload this. And once that's done here, okay, yeah, cool. Once that's done, what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and click on it. And what you should see is this URL, okay? Now this URL is publicly available. Now how do you test this out? You just go to a new window, okay? Or if you want to go to like a new in-private browsing window, that's even kind of more better test, and just paste it in. Does it download? Oh, it downloads. You're off to the races. Does that make sense? So you can see it's publicly accessible. So you're going to take that item and you'll, this is just like my little notepad++, I'll just paste it here. Okay, I'm going to store this and hold on to this for what's next, okay? And I think that's it for this, okay? So we've got it, it's in the blob, we're ready to go. There's 7-zip in the blob. That's really it. So now if what we want to do is we want to deploy 7-zip over to our endpoint machines, you can use group policy to do it. You can use PolicyPak MDM to do it. You could do any technique you want. So all you're going to do is go to create PP Remote Work Delivery Manager via Azure Blob Storage here. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and click edit here. And we'll dive down. You can do this on user or computer side. I'm doing this on the user side. You can go to Remote Work Delivery Manager. And remember, you've got that link. So we'll go to add a new web policy here. So once you're here, you're going to go ahead and paste it in. We're going to validate it to make sure that it's good. And then you're off to the races. So we're going to copy a file. We're going to give it to C:\7z download or something like that. That'll be the target directory. And then in this case, we want to access the source and destination is the computer, because this way we can do an install properly. We can make this always, and always is important, and you'll see why, because as I said earlier, I named it 7Z, not 7Z16 for a reason. So I'll go ahead and select this as always. My process that I want to run, I think I've got this on this tab. Yeah, I got this on this tab. What I want to run is my 7z installer here. Okay, so that's msi exec/I %destination dir % 7z.msi, and do it quietly. And my revert action, when this policy no longer applies, I want to msi exec/I uninstall here. Whoops, that's this guy here, this destination dir, bing, 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 bing. That's the right guy. So msi exec/x, and then that's it. So now what I'm going to do is go over to my endpoint machine. And let's see. So do I have 7-zip on this machine? If I type 7-zip, nope, 7-zip on this machine. So again, what I'm doing here in this demonstration happens to be using the group policy version. If you wanted to use PolicyPak Cloud, you could do that. If you wanted to wrap up this policy and deploy it to your machine using MDM, you could do that too. Okay. PolicyPak Remote Work Delivery Manager works across all of our platforms. So once you've done the GP update or the policy kicks in, it'll download, and look at that, 7-zip file manager. And if we run help about, we can see it's 7-zip 16, which is great. Now hold that thought in your brain for a little while. Why is that? Because what I want to do next is I want to go back into my Azure Blob Storage, and I want to upgrade 7-zip 16 to 19. Well, how do we do that? Well, what we're going to do is in my C:\share where I have all this stuff, and if I go back to 7z, what I'm going to do is take that original one, I'm going to rename that guy 7z16, and I'm going to rename the 19 version to 7z. Watch why. So now that I've renamed this, we're going to do a little magic trick in Azure Blob Storages. What I'm going to do is upload, okay, the file, overwrite file if it already exists. Aha, let me check that little guy. That's what I'm after. And then if I go back to share and go back to 7z, which is really 7-zip 19 and not 16 anymore, what does it do? We click on upload here, bing, 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 okay, and that's it. We do nothing. We don't do anything else. We've done all the hard work. We just overwrote that file with the latest version. Let's go back to our endpoint. Let me prove I'm not pulling a fast one on you here. If I go back to 7-zip manager and go to help about, still 16. What I'm going to do next is wait for policy to apply. Again, this would happen naturally with PolicyPak MDM or PolicyPak Cloud or regular group policy. I'm just using group policy in this demonstration. But notice how I didn't have to go back to Policyland or teach my clients how to do anything. Okay, very simple. Because I use that special always switch, it's just always checking. So now when I go back to 7-zip manager here and I go to help about, look at that, 7-zip 19. So the key point here is that you can use Azure Blob Storage as a way to upload interesting applications and then use PolicyPak Remote Work Delivery Manager to deliver those items and keep them automatically updated. Once you get the policy down, you don't have to keep fighting with it or doing anything. It's just to automatically be checking to see if anything's new. You replace the files in Azure Blob Storage as you need to, making an update, and that's it. You're off to the races. Azure Blob Storage, PolicyPak Remote Work Delivery Manager, your endpoints. It's a match made in heaven. Hope this video helps you out. Thanks for watching. Hope to get you started with PolicyPak real soon. Bye-bye.